10 products that improve erection. Friends, today I will tell you about 10 products that can greatly increase your potency and make you a healthy man. It's important to watch this video to the end, because if you start consuming what I'm going to recommend today, you can improve your erection by 40%. Well, yes. Well, watch everything. Erectile dysfunction problem, it rejuvenates. Before, it was men in their 60s, 70s. Now the average age of my patient is 25 to 35 years old. Many are surprised to discover hormonal issues and erectile dysfunction at this age during consultations. Most of them are counting on some pills, and most doctors will basically recommend pills to you. Drink Viagra, drink Cialis, drink Levitra. This is all good, but there are natural and safe and most importantly beneficial for health ways. Today I will briefly tell you about how an erection occurs, and I will tell you about 10 products and how to use them correctly. Trust me, this is not mere rhetoric, but the truth. If you start using them and it becomes part of your diet, the erection in a number of situations improves by 40, sometimes even by 50%. And I will specifically explain how each product will improve your erection. I'll briefly explain how an erection occurs and how all these preparations that improve erection work in principle. Nitric oxide is what causes vasodilation. This is the expansion of blood vessels. An erection occurs under the action of nitric oxide. It is released, causes the expansion of the vessel, and the blood is directed to the cavernous bodies. The cavernous bodies are a kind of sponge that fills your penis from the inside, and it absorbs blood. What happens? Due to the strong flow of blood, the penis expands. All this time, the blood is draining from the penis through the veins. But because the flow is very strong and the cavernous bodies are expanding, they compress the veins. Good inflow, it blocks the outflow. And even during an erection, some part of the blood continues to flow out of the penis. But due to the difference in inflow and outflow, and because the veins are compressed, we get an erection. So, all these drugs that are given to you, advised, or those miracle additives that are often advertised on the internet, in fact contain medicine inside, and they harm you, because they have many contraindications if they simply cannot be used. We can act on all the same things on the production of nitric oxide. Product number 1. This is a pomegranate. We rarely see it on the table, but in fact it is insanely useful. It is beneficial for many reasons, mainly because it increases nitric oxide production. And besides the fact that it is beneficial for your potency, for your erection, it has another very important property. And this has been proven in a series of experiments and on people and on animals. It enhances spermatogenesis quality and has a crucial detoxification property. To remove toxins and better excrete and neutralize metals from the body, you often ask how. When you consume pomegranates, there is one thing, but how we all consume pomegranates. Just squeezed pomegranate juice, just drank it, it's wrong. Pomegranate contains a lot of useful substances and in its peel, but we remove the peel, it's not tasty. But the seeds, they are very important. You need to eat with the seeds. Why? The thing is that pomegranate seeds, when you consume them under the influence of intestinal flora, turn into urolithins. And urolithins protect your vessels, protect you from oncology, protect you from thrombosis, improve your immunity, and beneficially affect your hormonal background. Product 2 is watermelon, which I really love. It would seem, yes, watermelon and potency, erection, how can this be related? And everything is very simple. In fact, donator. That is, this is what nitrogen oxide comes from. These are nitrates, and there is a huge amount of nitrates in watermelon. It absorbs them well from the ground. And that's why, by the way, they are easily discarded. Because watermelon, like a filter, absorbs all the bad things, including, and therefore, when watermelons grow in a bad environment, or they are too actively fertilized, they can become a cause of poisoning. Watermelons absorb various contaminants. Eating them can lead to poisoning, which is a common occurrence. And also magnesium. Magnesium stabilizes your blood pressure, stabilizes your nervous system, and accordingly, it's easier for you to achieve an erection because you are a more relaxed person. And if you didn't expect that watermelon improves erection, then definitely give a like and let's move on. A very unexpected fact about watermelon. What do you think? How much watermelon do you need to eat to get the daily norm of magnesium? Just one big piece. The next product is product number 3, Greek nut. You know, there are a bunch of recipes like these. There's a grandma advised, dad advised to mix it with sour cream, pour honey over the Greek nut. It's all useful for potency. Well, it's actually useful, but why is it useful? Let's figure out what's in it. Iron contains magnesium, which we've already said we need, and iron is needed for good blood formation, blood supply, and overall circulation, as it turns out, blood in the body. And so we don't have hypoxia. Although for men this is rare, but for women this is actually a quite pressing problem. And of course, it's a nitrogen oxide donor. And plus, besides that, it also enhances the synthesis of nitrogen oxide. And of course, L-arginine. It is a precursor of nitrogen oxide, and therefore, when it is present in your diet, the level of nitrogen oxide will be higher. The fourth product. Remember the cartoon about Popeye the sailor when he ate spinach, became strong, and his biceps swelled. His forearms were so healthy, swelled, but in fact probably something else swelled in him. Because spinach is very beneficial for men, and very beneficial because there is a huge amount of tocopherols in it. So what is the benefit of tocopherol? It beneficially affects the endocrine system and regulates the production of male sex hormones. Number 5 and number 6 are two green products. Arugula and Kale are very beneficial, inexpensive, and despite the fact that they are nitrogen oxide donors, they are champions in terms of the amount of nitrates they contain. Why do I keep mentioning nitrates? Nitrates are everywhere, found in various products and substances. Why then so many of them? Well, you're not going to eat one kale, you're not going to eat one spinach. That's why you need to know the whole list of useful products, because health begins at the store. You examine the shelf, contemplating which items to select for your grocery basket. You choose what suits your needs, throw it into the grocery basket, and you can make some kind of salad mix. In principle, from the things I've listed, you can make a decent salad. Another product that has a beneficial effect on nitric oxide is beetroot sauce.
Well, probably.
Out of all the products I listed today, this is likely the most effective. It's even considered a natural aphrodisiac. The most effective method. And not only will it improve your erection, it might also improve your performance in workouts.
There are studies.
And I've tried it personally. You can increase your functionality by 15% if you drink beet juice before a workout. It's not miracles, it's just all laid down in the mechanisms of work. When you consume, for example, beetroot, you also consume nitric oxide donors. In fact, it's a natural aphrodisiac combining the properties of beetroot. So actually, if you gulp down beetroot juice, you'll get a strong pump for the workout. And a strong pump in the sexual organ. About beetroot juice, you need to know, well, probably two things. There's an insane amount of beneficial things you can say about beetroot juice. And the fact that it strengthens the immune system and that it makes the blood vessels healthy. Yet two important things. First, don't panic if your urine is red after consuming beetroot. Beetroot can color urine, so if you had it recently and notice red urine, it's likely not blood and is normal. Probably no less important than the role of strengthening the production of nitric oxide, and also, as I will remind once again, it acts as a donor of nitric oxide. A very important property of beetroot is the reduction of female sex hormones and increasing male sex hormones. Many of you have endocrine problems, endocrine reasons for having erection problems, and many of you have elevated estradiol. You ask what to lower estrogen levels with, as you don't want to take anti-estrogens or harm yourself. I have it constantly. I am now on my way to a new body, losing weight. Maybe there will be less estradiol, but because of the high level of estradiol, I have problems with the fact that it is difficult for me to lose weight. Beetroot juice is the answer to your questions. It really reduces the level of estradiol.
It's bad to lower women's pockets.
It's bad to lower below the norm. He doesn't lower below the norm, but the ratio of male to female he makes very good. There is a norm. When we have a testosterone deficit, it is often accompanied by an estradiol deficit. And we have estradiol. Estradiol is a female hormone derived from testosterone in males through aromatization, a process involving the enzyme aromatase. Aromatase converts a portion of testosterone into estradiol. It can't be equally bad when there's low testosterone, high estradiol. It balances the ratio and will help you maintain it at a good level to the maximum. Of course, if estradiol is very low, as in many when they are on antiestrogens, well, until you see healthy bones. But here we will talk about balance. And it will give health, it will give longevity, it will give good self-esteem and a good erection.
Not just about juice. Or can you also eat regular boiled beets?
Listen, have you ever tried boiled beets at all?
In salad?
Well, yes, that's right. You can throw it in a salad. Look, we've gone through so many greens today. And you can sprinkle some nuts in there. You can throw in some salad, the same kale, spinach. I'm not a great cook, but surely you can come up with something from this. There are actually quite a few of these products, and I know about these because I consider them to be the most effective for solving the task at hand. I am genuinely interested and read all the comments, even if I don't always have time to respond to each one. Please share your experience. What has enhanced your erection? What helps you to enhance your sexual function? Don't be shy, share. I'm really interested. Besides my interest, our subscribers may try it, since there's no perfect method. Sometimes something works well on one thing, doesn't work on another, and possibly what I listed as super good doesn't work with something you've tried. Write in the comments under this video and read each other's stories. Honestly, if I'm honest, I thought for a long time whether to recommend or not to recommend. Now everyone will go, and I honestly recommend it to everyone. The member is standing, but there is no sex because it stinks. But that's not the point. The point, actually, it helps. It helps because it actively influences the synthesis and conversion of nitrates into nitrogen oxide, despite not containing nitrates itself. It's the formation process. He stimulates it. And besides the stimulus he gives, he also enhances the production of male sex hormones. This is indeed a very important factor. And so you don't have to think that if you have hormonal problems, you have low testosterone, that you drank beet juice or ate garlic and everything will be fine. First and foremost, you need to be convinced that you have a normal level of testosterone. And in general, if you are interested in the topic of testosterone, under this video, there will definitely be a link to the broadcast where you can find out how a man can make himself healthier. It's free. Go ahead and enjoy watching. Another important property of garlic, especially suitable for those with stressful work, it normalizes cortisol levels. Naturally, especially in sexual life, when you have unstable erection, this cortisol will particularly jump. And of course, garlic, along with all its beneficial properties, must definitely be on the list of useful products for erection. Product number 9. Many products can be attributed, but I would probably say an apple, although citrus fruits can also be mentioned. Any products that contain a large amount of vitamin 100, it's an important component for the longevity of nitrogen oxide to be longer. That is, it has protective properties. That's why you can mix a salad mix and add, for example, apple slices there. And one component will help produce nitrogen oxide, while the other component is an increase in vitamin 100. In this specific period of time, it will help him live longer. The medications that doctors prescribe for you for erection, they basically work that way. They increase the lifespan of nitric oxide, it does not dissipate, and therefore the erection is maintained.
Alexander, these products are often absent in men's diets. Most commonly, they might have something like a bun and a cup of coffee. That is, rarely does any man even think about it, about everything until the problem begins. Why is that?
When guys come for a consultation, they usually already have a belly, indicating they have been suffering from endocrine insufficiency for some time. And he says that he has always eaten whatever he wanted, put whatever he wanted into himself, drank, smoked, didn't do sports, but was always in shape. He started growing a belly, they come after living with the problem for some time, and then when their health permitted that diet. Then, when it didn't come out in the form of poor erection, bad mood, or skin problems, then they could really afford it. But when the problem forces them to see a doctor, a urologist, andrologist, or endocrinologist, it leads them there. He begins to wonder what he's doing wrong. And we all, of course, coming to the doctor, are counting on some magic pill that the doctor will now take out of the cabinet, put on the table, and we will feel good. But the main thing is to think about why you ended up at the doctor's, why other people don't come to the doctor in their 30s with a big belly, why other people sleep well, why other people have normal potency, erection, why their children are born right away. Because someone is waiting for a disease to visit a doctor, someone is waiting for a disease to check their health, and other people. They respect themselves and have a culture of communicating with their body by periodically checking their health. Not just when it hurts, like going to the doctor or dentist. You probably go. I hope that you go for the hygiene of the oral cavity. And then, when half of your face has swollen, and you then went in the middle of the night because it hurts, therefore please my
Dear friends,
Even if you don't have health problems now, adopt a healthy lifestyle.
Health
Is the most valuable thing there is, and therefore it is filled with many interesting facts to the best of its ability. Because I am quite strongly engaged in my main job, where I deal with the treatment of oncology in patients, I try to share on my Telegram channel. I will leave a link to it under this video, and by the way, there is also a link to my project there. About the checkup of the body in modern times. What is a checkup anyway? A checkup is a modern planned health check of the body through laboratory indicators. You know, originally there were 9 products on the list, but I still added 10, and I didn't add it. Do you know why? Because I wanted to be realistic. Because we are ordinary guys with you, and we are not some oligarchs with you, and if we eat, we try to eat ordinary products. And some of you can afford the 10th item of the diet. Yes, I wrote them. They are considered a natural aphrodisiac, including because they contain a large amount of zinc. This improves the level of testosterone. They help, but I wouldn't rank them a perfect 10. I've actually made 9 points that can help you get a healthy erection, stay happy, and not spend a huge amount of money in the process. Because everything I've listed is absolutely inexpensive, and it should be part of your grocery basket. The next time you go to the store, please, from this list, I will definitely dub it in the description under this video, or I will post it in the Telegram channel. Please don't forget about these products. They really have a strong effect on your erection. Stay healthy, fill your heads with the right knowledge, and to do this, subscribe to my channel and follow the new releases.